Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And Gary is supremely upset.
Yes.
Or he's drunk, if you're
Yeah, or I guess if I was in England, I'd be supremely drunk.
yes. Yeah, the laughter is literally I send him the invite, he logged on, I hit record. No research, just go. You've already read this, you've already read the headline. What more research do you possibly need?
I know. So the headline that Dave's referring to is George Conway made a prediction about Donald Trump. Because mark my words, it's just a matter of time before Donald Trump basically defies the Supreme Court. And he was sharing that in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu voted to fire the Attorney General who's prosecuting Netanyahu in a corruption case. And the Supreme Court blocked the firing pending judicial review, but one government minister said they would ignore that decision. So, it's one of those things where it's already happening in Israel. It's only a matter of time before Donald decides that that's, as a king, that's what he needs to do here.
Yeah, you notice the parallels between Putin, Netanyahu, and Trump.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's Netanyahu is, he already tried to disband the Supreme Court, and they have what they call it's like the reasonableness rule or something like that, where the Supreme Court can strike down any law if it's unreasonable, and the law to disband the Supreme Court was struck down as being unreasonable. We don't necessarily have that protection in the United States. What we have, though, is the Supreme Court being around for a few centuries, and it's an institution, and it's not going to go quietly into the night.
Nope.
So if dictators don't need Supreme Courts. That's a mantra that's been shared many times over the last year or two, especially as the Supreme Court gives Trump more and more, or gives the president more and more dictatorial-like powers and presidential immunities. You're setting yourself up where he doesn't need you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they've already kind of done some test runs, if you will, like the Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Yes.
Where
that wasn't the Supreme Court. Those were the district courts, I believe.
Okay. But it was basically, we're just going to ignore what the courts say and see what happens.
Exactly.
And at that point, I was telling Dave, it's like, that is probably the bridge too far. Because, MAGA allegedly loves the Constitution. And if you are going to either ignore or disband the branch of government whose entire purpose is to interpret the Constitution, then, what are you really supporting at this point?
Well, again, what you're doing is you're separating the cult from the people that have horrible values.
Yes.
The people that have horrible values, they may continue to have horrible values, but their line in the sand is you're not going to burn the Constitution. You're not going to get rid of the Supreme Court. That's just a line they're not willing to cross yet. But the full-on cult members, hey, if Dear Leader says we don't need the Supreme Court anymore, then that's okay with them.
That's right. Okay, so let's take a look at the energy around Donald Trump and the Supreme Court. So right now he loves the Supreme Court. Those are his peeps, as it were.
He loves them until he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Until they don't do his bidding. So let's take a look at the current energy with Donald and the Supreme Court for entertainment purposes only. Okay, what do we got going on here? Okay.
Maybe he's not so happy with them.
Yeah, exactly. The foundation of the reading is the Five of Cups. Disappointed. I know he's disappointed with some of his appointees.
Yeah.
Comey Barrett, is that?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
She has definitely not been playing ball the way he expects her to.
Well, you can look at it like Thomas and Alito, who are not his appointees, they back him up on everything.
Yep.
Between Barrett, Roberts, Kavanaugh, and Gorsuch, They don't always toe the line like they're supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a little disappointed that he's not getting the loyalty that he's getting from Thomas and Alito, for example.
Yeah. And then we don't even bother with those Democratic
Yeah. It's just a matter of time before we get rid of them.
Exactly.
The cross is the 5 of swords. So now we got 2 5s. I want to get, how do I get rid of them? Because the 2 people that are most likely getting ready to leave would be Thomas and is Alito kind of
Thomas and Alito are the longest serving, most likely to leave.
Yeah, so the crosses, my 2 favorites are getting ready to maybe pack it up, and I've got to be able to replace them. Energy underneath it is the 8 of Pentacles. I've got lots of work to do. Basically, I want to get the best Supreme Court justices that money can buy.
Well, here's the problem you've got going on with that right now with Harlan Crow owning Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
For Thomas, being a Supreme Court justice is a lucrative business. Why would he want to leave all that money behind?
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of that we talked about this earlier, that whole Ruth Bader Ginsburg, where they were kind of leaning on her to retire while Obama was president, and she wanted to stick around, and she didn't last long enough, unfortunately.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Cat alert. Hi, kitten. How are you? Why you got leaves all over you? All right, and the disappearing cat.
Mrs. Nesbitt's been fed.
Yes. My cat has the ability to jump in and out of the ethereal plane. So she's ethereally disappeared. She's actually just eating outside on the deck. So energy underneath it. Hey, I got to get busy getting my new Supreme Court justices in place. In the past, you got the 8 of Wands, getting the message out to the Supreme Court on how they should be ruling on certain things. Current energy is the Hangman. Not the Hangman in this case, throwing people under the bus. He's certainly been throwing the courts under the bus, not the Supreme Court per se, but also not liking the position he's in, which he probably really wants to get Alito and Thomas out of there and put a couple more loyalists in there that are younger that will keep his Trump doctrine going, if you will. Overarching energy is the 2 of Swords. I have a choice to make. Less to be learned, the 9 of Cups. I don't know if I want to read that as an oligarch. Just hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. He's just enjoying the situation he's in right now, but he knows it's not going to last forever, and he wants to get people in there that'll keep him going. And right now, he is just letting things happen with the Supreme Court. He's 4 of Swords. He's just biding his time, if you will. He doesn't need to do anything now, but in the future, he's going to need to do something.
I'm curious what's the energy around what is going to be like the case, or what's the energy around the Supreme Court that if Donald were to ignore their order, what would it feel like? That's kind of what I want to go with it. What would it feel like? What's going on that the Supreme Court would make a decision that Trump would consider and likely not follow? Temperance. It's tamping down something where there's integration or detoxification of something. So it would be something so out of the norms, the Supreme Court actually has to do their job. And it's crossed by the Magician, which is a card of manifestation or illusion. It's almost like Trump comes up with this new idea, and
exactly.
It's like he comes up with this new way of doing things, and they basically say, no, that's a bridge too far. You really can't do that. You just this would be like, sending the military against U.S. citizens, deporting U.S. citizens, having a purity test or something like that. And the Supreme Court's like, no, no, we can't do that. That's too much for us. Underneath it all is the Moon card. Craziness, lunacy, secrets to be revealed. There's something underneath here that's really powerful. That would drive this. Again, three major.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got three major arcana so far.
I mean, to me, you got the crab coming out of the water. You've got the walls. It's almost like an immigration thing or something along those lines. We'll see. It wouldn't be surprising I wouldn't be surprised if it was immigration. I don't think it's suspending the votes because it's just like a path with walls on either side. Let's just see where we go with this. In the past, King of Pentacles. I don't think this is the Epstein case per se. This is, again, oligarchs, wealthy people wanting to have control over the government. Now, they got their big, beautiful bill through, and I don't think that's anything that's going to be challenged in the Supreme Court, but it's going to be something else that maybe is benefiting or is in service of very wealthy people or Trump's personal wealth. Current situation would be the Hierophant. It could be government. It might be government related or big government institution related. But it'd be private. Like, for instance, it might be like trying to privatize Social Security. That might be one thing. It might be that declaring martial law to prevent elections from happening. Saying there's an emergency going on, a mystery emergency going on that's a figment of my imagination, and we have to do things with the government, like, have martial law and emergency government. It could be something like that where the Supreme Court says, no, you don't get to do that. And I'm not trying to be alarmist. I'm just trying to incorporate these cards. Right now we've got one royalty and 5 major arcana. Yeah. Overarching energy is the Emperor. It's at this point where Trump is probably at his craziest, and the Supreme Court has to come in and say, no, this is not what we do in the United States. The lesson to be learned is the Queen of Wands. It's part of this is because of actions taken by the Supreme Court previously, they've opened the door for this type of behavior, this type of lunacy that, Trump will always ask for more and more and more. He's never satisfied, never sated by things like that. And it's something that they've done to themselves. Now the outcome, the lesson we learned is Trump might be of the opinion that I'm going to go ahead and do what I want anyways. And now the Supreme Court has to deal with the consequences of that. And now they have to bring up question. It's almost like there's a question of health or stability with it and a plan that goes forward. We thought it was a good idea, helping this guy out at the time, but man, we were naive for thinking it. There's like a moment of self-reflection as they are, whatever it is that causes Trump to defy them. That's when they realize that they've been played, that they're idiots, and that they're the ones who are responsible for this. And there's nobody else they can blame but themselves. And when I say but themselves, I'm not talking about 3 liberal justices on the court. All of them have to deal with the consequences of it, but there are people who are a little bit more guilty than others.
All right. And what's the outcome going to look like? So now you've got what it's going to be about. What's the outcome look like? So let's do a little side. You want to do a reading with me?
No, you can go ahead and do it.
Okay, I'll do this. I'm going to do side by side the outlook for the Supreme Court, outlook for the executive branch and Donald Trump. All right. What's the outlook for the Supreme Court? Hermit, finding a path forward, finding the truth. Emotionally walking away, probably distancing themselves from their previous path forward that they were trying to light for Trump, taking a new action, and the sun shining out with the basically truths being revealed. For Donald Trump, he wants his justice.
Oh, the justice has come crashing down on him.
Yeah. He's trying to defend his version of justice, or sticking the Justice Department on them.
It's funny because there's nobody else to appeal to after the Supreme Court, right?
Exactly. You got the Four of Wands, celebrating the actions I've taken, and the Knight of Pentacles, sitting back and observing. It's kind of coming to the realization of what it is you really have to offer. Boy, I'm not getting any kind of. It seems like there's just going to be more turmoil. What's the energy underneath it? The Star, the best of democracy, and this Three of Cups celebrations.
Huh. Yeah, good luck interpreting that one.
Yeah. So what is Trump got going on here? So he wants to defy the Conway say he's going to defy the Supreme Court. Trump thinks he's got the justice card. He thinks it's just. His actions are defensible. People will be celebrating his actions, but you really should take some time to think about it, even though you're celebrating it. I have no idea.
Well, it could be something as simple as, they decide to invoke the 25th Amendment and he takes it to the Supreme Court saying they can't 25th Amendment me.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, they can.
It would be his cabinet that would be the
exactly.
ones that have to.
I want you to think about this. If J.D. Vance and the cabinet vote to 25th Amendment Trump, what would Trump do?
Yeah, sure.
He would sue. He would sue. You can't do that to me. This is an illegal application of the 25th Amendment. I'm going to the Supreme Court with this.
Mm-hmm.
It would look something like that. I'm sure it'd be something before that, but ultimately, if they were to go 25th Amendment on him, that would be his last act to go in front of the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess maybe what this is just more Trump's mindset when he splits from the Supreme Court is that, my way is just.
And they're trying to kick me out. Yeah, I'm fighting for my job. You owe me favors. Remember how I got you three in there? Yeah. Everything's about me, me, me. Look, they're trying to kick me out. I'm fighting for it. You guys,
all the nice things I've done for you or can
exactly.
Do for
you three on the bottom there. You owe your Supreme Court seats due to me. Yeah. So you owe me your fealty for the rest of my life.
Yep. Yeah, it's just one of those. This is probably how he's feeling, how he justifies defying them is what I think what this spread is trying to communicate here. That's the most sense I can make out of it.
Well, again, I think in the end of the day, mark the tape. It'll be his last Supreme Court case will literally be them trying to 25th Amendment him out and him saying, no, I'm not going. I'm taking the Supreme Court as they bum rush him out of the White House. He might be fighting that Supreme Court case from another country at that point.
God, it's too bad. It's a shame the Four of Pentacles card didn't come out because that's the perfect card to represent that.
Yeah, maybe. Anything else you want to throw on that?
No, I'm completely puzzled.
All right. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching this video and supporting our channel. We appreciate it.
Yeah, leave a comment and let us know what you think that second spread meant for Donald Trump and the Supreme Court. The folks in the comment section sometimes do a much better job than we do, and frankly, some of these people should start opening their own channels.
Yeah. And if I end up being right that it's the 25th Amendment that he's challenging in the Supreme Court, I will take my well-deserved victory lap around Gary's house.
I will cheer you.
I will draw a victory lap while drinking his beers.
Ooh. Hey, didn't expect words.
Come back here with my beer.
All right. So how about if we give a couple of shout outs?
Well, we could do that, I suppose. Yeah. I don't think we've ever done that before, have we? Romper, stomper, bumper, boo. Come on, tell me who has Miss Marianne not called out in the audience lately?
Oh my gosh. How about Tracy Warwick?
I think Tracy's probably been called out once or twice, but maybe the wrong gender.
It could be. So is that the King of Wands?
It was the King of Wands.
Bold actions. Tracy will take some bold actions if Miss Marianne does not call her out or her out the next time. Dina DiMambro, who made a very thoughtful and kind and generous donation to the channel, which I will buy beer with.
She probably went to Vegas and won on roulette. She bet on the black.
Dina has asked for more baby pictures. I'll see what I can do.
What Gaze have you been putting up on the channel?
Just the couple of photos that I put out there. Tracy Myers, who said today is my birthday, which I think was yesterday's. No, I copied that today. So we're recording this on August the 5th. So happy birthday, Tracy, belatedly. Oh yes.
But it wouldn't be belated the day we record. It's just belated the day you receive it.
Carol Washburn, who made a very kind contribution to the channel. Hi, Carol.
And that's a Ace of Cups. Gary is extremely thankful.
I am.
Very grateful.
And then finally with Cindy Collins, also known as Kachu, who made a very thoughtful contribution to the channel as well. Oh, there it is.
That's got a bust.
Do you think I gave you everything? I want it all. My gold, mine.
Maybe she'll take her donations to the Supreme Court and get favors from Justice Thomas and Alito.
And then a card for the rest of us, the King of Cups, the rest of us here, the democracy, the U.S. citizenry. We're just along for the ride at this point. Just
good times
to get through it.
All right, everyone. Take care. We'll catch you on the next video.
Bye, folks.